Do you have a problem with what we just read?
Right.
You believe in the Bible, right?
My main thing is, okay, I'll give you this. Like with me, I took Bible as literature.
Okay.
In college.
Okay.
So, of course, I believe that God exists, but at the same time, when it comes to the whole Bible, I know there's a lot that's really like as far as like when you compare the Bible with the history, like of this universe.
Okay.
So of course, like as far as like me, there's certain thing as far as like there's certain thing in the Bible, especially like as far as like when the Bible comes up with slavery has a lot to do with the Bible.
Right.
A lot.
So do you believe that part of the Bible is it accurate as far as literature goes? When you compare the history of slavery and slavery in the Bible, do you think they're accurate or there's some things that's missing?
Oh, clearly there's as far as like one of the main things that as far as like when it comes to the Bible, right? The Bible is really like as far as like one thing that when the Bible comes up, it has a lot to do with the slavery. Because let me tell you this: when it comes to slavery in the Bible, it's like as far as like one of the verses that say as far as like the slave must obey the master. See what I'm saying? That's one thing as far as like when it comes to, but that is really like it's human opinion. To me, I don't believe that God that I'm serving will tell me that as far as like if somebody beat me up, somebody knock me down, somebody throwing fire at me, and I don't have to react because they're my master. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Like I told you, that's what I told you as far as like in the Bible with like
I see what you're saying.
about the whole history and like as far as like everything into it, there's a lot that has to do with like somebody opinion.
Okay, I got you. So how about this? I'm gonna start with that first, that slave obey your masters thing, because that's one of the main things that a lot of so-called black people have a problem with the Bible. But when you said you went to school to study the Bible, right?
No, I went to school, but I took Bible as literature.
You took Bible as literature. Did they ever tell you that in order for you to understand slaves obey your masters, which is in the New Testament, you had to go to the Old Testament to understand the laws? Did they tell you that?
Yeah, but
wait, hold on. Did they tell you that? Yes or no?
No.
No. That's where the misconnection is coming from. In order to understand slaves obey your masters, you have to go into the Old Testament because there were laws about us having servants. That's what it is. It's about having servants. Okay,
like to me, I don't read it like as far as like I don't view it in that context.
But I'm gonna show you.
I don't view it in that context.
Even if you don't view it, I'm gonna correct it, bro. I'm gonna read it for you. Read that. Where is that? Slave obey your masters. Colossians 10. What is it? Go ahead. Slave obey your masters.
What time is it? Because I'm at it.
Hold on, brother. Don't go yet. Don't go yet. I got you.
I got so much.
I got you. But before you go, right? What's your nationality?
I'm Haitian.
322.
Go to Colossians 3:22. I'm gonna teach you that.
I'm Haitian. Haitian secession, man, is like it's part of my blood.
Okay, I'm gonna show you that it's not part of your blood, and it ties into the whole slavery thing. Read that first.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 22.
Read.
Servant, obey all things your master according to the flesh, not with your eye service and men pleasure, but the singleness of heart.
So now, do you know what law this pertains to in the Old Testament?
Are you talking about the 10 Commandments?
There's more than 10 commandments, but there's a specific law. Because us as a people, you know, at one point, we had servants. Right? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I wanted to come to work for you. What's your name? Baptist. Let's say my name is Basaya. I wanted to work for Baptist because I didn't have no food. I didn't have nothing to my name. But Baptist has land, he has food, he has cattle, etc., etc. I came under you now. That would make me your what? If you told me you're going to clean the house, take care of the cattle, do this and that, what would that make me to you?
So if you get paid for it, Susie.
Of course.
If you get paid for it, you're just an employee.
That would make me a servant. That's what makes me.
I think I'll view it as an employee because you get paid for it.
That's the same thing.
Like as a slave, you don't get paid for it.
Okay.
As a slave, once you like as far as like when they do you, whatever they beat you, like you don't get paid. Like as a slave, you don't get paid.
No, you
know that, right?
As
a slave, yes, you get paid as a slave. No, you don't.
As a servant, as us
As
as
a
servants.
slave.
Hold on, brother. Us, when we used to deal with each other, we didn't treat each other that way. If you were my servant, there were laws that said, guess what? I couldn't strike you. I couldn't hit you. And guess what? There would be judgment for that. Read that for me, please.
I understand, but I'm trying to really try to make it. I don't want you to really put it in the same context. When it comes to slavery, as far as
I'm gonna show you there's a separation. Read.
Exodus chapter 15.
Deuteronomy 15:12.
I'm gonna show you there's a separation. It's not the same thing. Us as servants, when we used to deal with each other, I had to pay you. I had to pay you that day. But guess what? It's a day in America. When you get your paycheck? You get it every 2 weeks, right?
I'm self-employed, so I get paycheck whenever, as far as I close my deal.
Okay, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 15 verse 12. Read. And if thy brother,
so we're brothers, right? Read.
Yeah.
an Hebrew man,
A Hebrew man, read.
or a Hebrew woman,
Read.
be sold unto thee,
So when you had servants, we would serve each other, right? Read.
and serve thee
You would serve me, because that's what I am, a servant under you. Read.
6 years. Then in the 7th years,
So there was a point in time that I had to serve you. Usually it was 6 years. And when you get to the 7th year, what would happen?
thou shalt let him go free from thee.
So that would mean that, hey, you're no longer under me. You could go free. You work for the time that you needed to work for me, right? Read.
And when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty.
So I wouldn't go empty-handed. So Baptiste, you would live me with resources that I could have so I could survive after I serve you those 6 years. You understand?
No, honestly, that's
Let
just
me
like a trade
finish.
deal.
Let me finish. Read.
Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of the flocks, and out of thy floor,
Read.
and out of thy winepress.
So you would give me things to sustain myself like food. You would give me flocks like sheep. Because that was our currency back in the day. Read.
Of that wherewith the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him.
So all the things that God blessed you with, you would share some of it with me. Because that's how we dealt with one another. So back to what you said. You said, oh, a servant isn't somebody that's getting paid. But when we just read here, are you paying me?
Not that what I'm saying to you as far as if it's really as far as the servant wants you, because what I'm trying to, this is the context that I'm trying to make you understand. As far as a servant, once you get paid,
Right.
That's a trade deal. You get paid for it.
Right.
Because I know it's not the same as a slave.
Right.
Because at the end, so the slave, once you're a slave, so it's way different. Because my thing is as far as when you say as far as when I told you as far as that verse in the Bible said, slave obey your master. But I don't want you to view the slave as the same thing as the
Okay,
servant.
I understand what you're saying. But you got to understand
I
the
don't want
word.
you to view it the same.
The word
The
slave.
slave and servant is not the same.
Hold on, but the word slave and servant in the Bible is used interchangeably. That's what you're getting stuck on. But remember, when it's talking about slaves in the New Testament, it was always talking about the Jews. So if I'm a slave to a fellow Hebrew or a Jew, I'm not treated as a slave as if I was another nation.
Right.
I wouldn't get treated wrong because I know if I'm under another Hebrew or a Jew that there's laws in place like this one that clearly says this brother, although he is your servant / slave, there's a hold on, hold on.
Slave,
That's what I'm trying to explain. Hold on, Baptist, hold on. That's what I'm trying to explain. If I'm under a Hebrew and I am a servant / slave, there are laws in place that there's a certain way that I have to treat you. But if I have another nation outside the 12 tribes of Israel, and he is a servant / slave, there's a certain way I'm able to treat him according to God's laws. I'm going to finish reading this. I'm going to show you. Right. Finish reading Deuteronomy. 15? Yeah, finish that.
And thou shalt remember that thou wast a born man in the land of Egypt.
So now, here's my question. In the Bible, does God ever refer to the other nations as servants? Isaiah 14.
Leviticus 25:39 calls slaves bondservants.
Get Leviticus 29 and
25,
25 and 29.
39.
25 and 39. In the Bible, the word slave and servants is used interchangeably. I'm going to show you where it called us slaves also in the Old Testament.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 39.
Yep. Read.
And if thy brother that dwelt,
So it says, thy brother again, read.
that dwelt by thee be waxed poor,
If I was under you, I was waxed poor, read.
and be sold unto thee.
And let's say I'm sold to you. I'm poor. Read.
Thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant,
But what?
but as he hires servant and a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and he shall serve thee until his of Jubilee.
So I would serve you until the year of Jubilee. So I would be a bond servant. That's the same thing as a slave. Do you understand that? So now, was there any point in time that God referred to the other nations or other races outside the 12 tribes of Israel as servants? Because like I said, the word servant and slave is used interchangeably with Israelites and the other nations.
Bring it out.
Isaiah 14. I'm going to show you. Because the other nations, guess what they're supposed to be? These white people, or Caucasians, or Edomites, the Moabites, the Chinese, or the Ammonites, the Japanese. God calls them our servants.
That's right.
Read.
Yep.
Isaiah 14 and what? Verse 1. Start at verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1.
Watch this. Read.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob,
So God is going to have mercy on us. Read.
and yet will choose Israel.
Israel. Who's the Israelites?
Bring it out.
Who are the Israelites today? The Israelites are the so-called people walking around calling themselves Haitian, Jamaicans, so-called African Americans, Puerto Ricans, Native American Indians. That's who the Israelites are. That's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
And set them in their own land.
So we're going to be in our own land because right now we're not in our own land. Read.
And the strangers.
The who?
The strangers.
Because remember, in the verse I read before, it called us strangers also. It says you're not supposed to treat them as a stranger. Read.
The stranger should be joined with them.
So they're going to be joined to us. God calls them strangers too.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example.